everyone, it's me Matt, and I'm back with a bit of a double feature today. I've got a modified and a custom build that I want to show everyone, but I think I want to start with the modified because I think that's what everyone wants to see. So this is a bit of a remodel slash custom of the Igor mech from the Hall of Armor. I had originally tried to make one before, it didn't turn out too great, so I didn't show it off, and then had an idea and I made it. So this I tried to get as close to the original size and shaping from the film, from Iron Man 3. This also has some waist articulation, which makes it a bit more expressive, I think. So what I tried to do, well, what parts I used, was the Nexonite Mech torso. So that made it so I could sit Iron Man down inside the suit. So the whole thing shuts around him. So the head is attached to the chest, but it's on a little ball joint so he can also look around, which makes it a little more expressive than the original set. And then most of the arms and legs are just adding brackets, to strap some armor around the side, make it a bit thicker. I just made some chunky feet. Oops. Yeah. So I'll pull off some of the armor pieces so you can get a better look at how that's made if you want to try and make this yourself. Okay, so to start with, when you build onto the Nexonite core, you have to mount some clip hinges onto the back, but you have to do it one stud higher and then lock it down on the back, because you need the height to get the armor over Iron Man's head. So with the back top section, I just used the double-ended clip receiver end, so that goes onto the back, and then use a full-length sloped piece, so it has a little bit of extra height in it, so you can fit the Iron Man helmet underneath. And then I just connected it across with a 1x4 and then ended it with a tile, and then using just a singular clip with these cheese slopes and then twisting them a little bit, it closes it in around the head so it covers up the Iron Man inside. Okay, so for the head and chest, I just used the clip receivers to go onto the body, some brackets to get some width out to the side, and mounted a jumper plate with a tile for the arc reactor. Now for the head, to get this shape, so you've got the ball joint, and then a jumper plate, and then a 1x2, and then you have to put the plate piece with the Igor print in the middle, because it doesn't have a I don't know what's called, like a stud divider in between, so it can just sit in the middle, and then use a curved piece rather than the big chunky piece they used in the original set, because this gives it some more shaping that's closer to the movie, I guess. But it is a little wobbly, and it's only connected by one stud, so it's a little fragile in that regard, but when it's mounted to the actual body and it has the rest of the arm around it, there's not too much chance to knock it off. So here's a better look, a little close up. So it's not perfectly sealed, there's a little gap on the top and a little bit on the side, but when you're looking at it from the front, or when he's looking towards the camera and stuff, it gives the impression that it's completely sealed off, I guess. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job getting as close as I could to the movie version. The only thing I didn't figure out was, or that I didn't try to put on at this point, is the metal booster supports that he has on his back. I think with that I'd just mount something from here up to here across and then have the two metal bits on there, but for now I think I'm happy with this little guy, so I guess we'll go on to the next model. Okay, so this is a custom mech that I built that was inspired by the Igor suit before I had actually modified the little one that I just showed off. So I call this the Stark Industries support and rescue mech. So I went for, you know, a lot of safety features and, you know, less weapons, more support and rescue. So, you know, I've got mounted spotlights from power miners as the roll cage is like large shoulder guards, and then this large beam on the back. It's actually a fire engine ladder pole. I don't know what it's called. So with this, I can extend out the bottom, and then on the top, I've just got these little parts that come out, so he can lock himself in to support a building, kind of like the Igor mech, how the Igor mech locks its back in place, whereas this has an entire pole system, which would be more stable. And then it means that the pilot, say Iron Man, can jump out and help civilians while, you know, the mech is still holding it in place, holding up a building or something. So for some other details, these feet, just pull it off to get a closer look. They're just these 1x2 with the clip on one end and little cheese slopes, and then that's just mounted onto an axle. So he has some wide feet, but I could also mount, see that in the light, the rounded dark blue translucent pieces for some thrusters. Some light, yeah. Yeah, and then it's just detailing it as usual. So this whole model is based off a mech frame that I designed, which I'll probably do a video on eventually. Yeah, which has the fully enclosed canopy and it makes it look like a large night suit. But for this, I wanted it to, you know, be a support and rescue. So hopefully that gives some people some inspiration for their own mechs, but I think the future video will do a better job at illustrating some of the features of this design. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video, but one last thing before, you know, I end it. With the upcoming Avengers Tower, the Taser suit has a blue and silver helmet, which for maybe just a post I might chuck on Instagram. I'm going to try mounting that helmet onto here to make it look more like the full Iron Man head instead of this printed tile, so it'll have a full head. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and, you know, hope to see you when I do more videos about some mechs.